Hey, high school sports fans, welcome to 806 High School Sports Connection. I'm Victor Hatchett with our co-host Jason Pearson, and we're about to give you the Week 8 District 1-3A rundown.
Yeah.
Jason, it was a pretty tough week in that district this week, man. Give me the rundown, let me know what you think.
Yeah, it was if you're Roosevelt, you know. Spearman puts up 61 points, beats Roosevelt 61-21.
Wow.
Moves Roosevelt to 0-2. Next week, Roosevelt has Amarillo at home, but that's Amarillo.
Wow.
So Roosevelt is now fighting for their playoff lives. Just 3 weeks ago, we were saying Roosevelt's 5-0 and ready to, make some noise. And they can still make some noise. They still get in the playoffs, but now it's a fight. And you gotta come up with a win against Amarillo.
That's right.
You gotta have it, And how about Spearman? Our player of the week, of course, was Bo Brown of Spearman. 22 rushes for 294 yards and 4 six-packs. Spearman and the Lynx and League Nation are looking very good right now. And you also have Highland Park winning 27-12 over Sanford Fritch. So as you look at the district, Tuya's 1-1, Highland Park's 1-1, Sanford Fritch is 0-2, Roosevelt's 0-2. Amarillo and Spearman, of course, the top of the district at 2-0.
Yeah.
Looking like they're on their way for a head-on collision on November 7th in Amarillo for the district title.
Yeah.
What do you think about that district?
Hey, man, tough district, man. Those guys, Spearman, man, we've been talking about them pretty much all season.
Yes.
And whatever their coach is selling, their kids is buying it, man.
Yeah.
And Amarillo is always pretty tough, man. Their tradition is they're just consistent every year and just go on about their business every year. So that's a good, tough district. And let the chips fall where they may.
Oh yeah, it looked like, as my brother said, chips fall where they may. It looked like the chips is falling a lot over where Amarillo and Spearman are at. All right, let's go over here to District 3-5A. That houses Canyon Round. That's the Amarillo district.
Yeah.
You had Canyon beat Hereford 37-34 on the last minute goal line stand. Paladuro beats Dumas 49-14. Paladuro's on a roll, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
And then you had Randall beating Caprock 56-36. Now in this division, I'm kind of thinking to myself, it looks like it's going to be Randall and Paladuro, because Canyon's making noise, but Canyon's not the dominant Canyon that we're used to.
Exactly.
They're still winning games, of course, and playing great.
Yeah.
But in this district, it's kind of looking like it's coming down to Randall and Paladuro. What do you think about that?
Hey, man, that's a tough district right there, man. And see, Paladuro, oh man, they're playing the best football I've seen them play in a while, man. It's good to see those kids rolling the way they're rolling.
Coach Parr.
Man, I'm telling you. And then, Canyon Randall, what you have to say about them? Every year consistent. Play good, strong football, fundamentally strong, defensively and offensively. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be the top dog in that district this year.
Oh, yeah. Randall, after losing to Tascosa, they've won their last 2 games convincingly. It looked like that losses did nothing but strengthen their team.
Exactly.
And we got 2A Division 2. Abernathy, they beat Hell Center 48-28, but Hell Center hung in there. He had DJ Dunn, a quarterback, 30-41, 351 yards, and 4 scores on the Abernathy defense, so he played admirably. Yeah. So Hell Center hung in there, they're 1-1 now. You also had New Deal bouncing back from their loss, beating Olton 49-0. Demetri Jackson, 9 carries, 165 yards, 4 touchdowns. How about that?
Great game.
Then you have Floyd Data beating Tahoka 43-14. Tahoka's struggling a little bit, but they're still fighting for their coach.
Yeah, they are.
So, in that district, give me a rundown in that district. In the district also, Abernathy's the only undefeated team left in that district. Well, sorry about that. Floyd Data is also 2-0. So, what do you think about this district, 2A Division 2?
Hey, man, another good district. It's real competitive. Abernathy, I've been keeping up with them this year, man. They playing some real good football this season, man.
Yeah.
And it's good to see those guys down there play ball the way they play ball. And then, Florida, their tradition.
Yeah.
Florida's a good program also. So, that whenever they meet, that's going to be a hell of a football game.
Yes,
when they meet in district, man. And then New Deal, you can't never count New Deal out.
Ever.
One thing about New Deal is that's one of those consistent programs that continues to work and move forward each year. And, and you wish the best for the rest of those teams in that district. Just keep working hard and get it done.
Oh, yeah. And let's go to District 4-5A. I call it my surprise district this week. How about Plainview, folks? Plainview's won 4 straight games.
Wow.
The Bulldogs are on a roll. Beat Abilene Cooper 68-63. What a shootout.
Ooh.
What a game out there. And Plainview is starting to make a statement.
Yeah.
Will they be able to make a statement next week when they play Lubbock Cooper?
Wow.
Who beat Lubbock High 34-14, but the score is not indicative of how the game was. Lubbock High fought hard that game. It was 14-7 at half. A lot of missed opportunities. They got the ball to start the second half, and their field goal got blocked.
Yeah.
Consequently, Lubbock Cooper went right down there and scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Jordan Salas on a touchdown pass from Atkins. So Lubbock Cooper also rested 7 or 8 starters.
Yeah.
So in this District 4 5A, maybe the biggest game next week comes up when Plainview visits Lubbock Cooper, Pirate Stadium, Pirate Nation.
Yeah.
Is Plainview gonna pull? I can't call it upset now. Is Plainview gonna beat Lubbock Cooper? Lubbock Cooper?
Hey man, it's gonna be real interesting to see. You just gotta let the chips fall where they may, man. I ain't gonna make no prediction. Just let it play out, man, because I'm ready to see that game. That's gonna be something to see in that district right there, man.
Oh yeah, Plainview's running game. Lubbock Cooper likes to stop the run.
Yes.
Ricky Mendez, super fast, lightning linebacker. That's his new nickname for me, lightning linebacker. he is very special. Colton Ayers didn't play last week. He's going to play against Plainview. This game will decide the district, but all of a sudden Plainview's in the playoffs, and now they're in the mix for a district title. And I for one, I didn't see that coming this year, and I apologize, but Plainview, you're on our radar now, and that's why we coming to watch you guys against Lubbock Cooper.
Yeah.
And when we come back off a break, we'll be going over 4 more districts and talking about our players of the week coming up pretty soon. Jason Pearson, Victor Hatchett, 806 HSSC TV.
Come on.
Hey, high school sports fans, welcome back to 806 High School Sports Connection, and I'm your host Victor Hatchett and my co-host Jason Pearson, and we're giving you the district rundowns for week 8. And we're back to go over some more districts, man. We're going over District 138, Division 1. Jason, give me the rundown on this district.
Well, as you know, I call this the Littlefield Muleshoe district.
Wow.
And not disrespect to other teams, just these two teams will meet each other on November 7th for the district title. Littlefield beats River Road 20-12. DeModrick Moore, as usual, 164 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah.
Coach Huseman in that running game, very dominant and is going to get very stronger when it gets colder.
Yeah.
Run the ball and play defense. That's why Littlefield might go far this year in the playoffs.
Right.
Let's talk about Freona. Freona wins last week over Dimmitt 53-0, but they turn back around this week and lose 55-7 in Muleshoe.
Wow.
Keegan Gonzalez, the wide receiver, was playing some quarterback. That's what his mom told me. How about Muleshoe just showing their versatility? They're running down. They got Campos, Josh Salazar. They got a lot of good players on that team, and their defense is starting to respond.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact for you, Vic. Their first-string defense has only given up 1 touchdown in the last 3 balls.
Wow.
1 touchdown in the last 3 games.
Wow.
Nobody's going to beat you doing that.
No.
And then you had Childress responding off their loss, beating them at 37-7. So what do you think about that district? Is it still looking like it's a Muleshoe, Littlefield, head-on collision coming November 7th for the district title?
It looked like it may be their way, but you can never count anybody out in high school football. With anything, with injuries and anything can play a part into that. So, you wish the rest of those teams well too. Hey man, how about Muleshoe, man?
Yes.
The old adage is defense win championships.
Yes.
And it looked like their defensive coordinator is selling them something they want to buy down there, and it's going to be interesting how they finish up this district.
Oh yeah. Let's go to District 428. Seagraves beats Morton 48-6. Corey Kyle played quarterback for Seagraves. 15 carries, 165 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Wow.
In 3 quarters. I like what he did. As you know, there was a little sad thing that happened out there. Crosbyton, we'll get to later when we cover Crosbyton District. But Corey Carl honored his friend on the football field and taped up. Had tape with Nathan Childers' uncle's name on RIP. That was unbelievable. A class act.
Yes, it was.
What a young man out there, you know. That darn near had me shed a tear a little bit, man. To know that some kids still care, man. That's what football's about.
Yes, it is.
It's not about winning and loss, how you play the game and being a heck of a man on and off the field. And that shows class. Nobody asked him to do that.
Yeah.
But let's get back to that team scoring 102 points in the last 2 games, only giving up 12 points. How about Sundown responding after their loss to Seagraves to beat Smyre 20-16? That was a big win for Coach Smith and Sundown. They needed that.
Yes, they did.
They needed it. And Plains had a week off. And so this district, as we stated, I think the Seagraves to lose, you know, it'll take something very, you know, sad, unfortunately, to happen for them to lose this district. They're going to win this district, but the other playoff spots, Sundown and Smyre both tied at 1-1. Morton's 0-1 is still in the mix, still control their own destiny, getting the playoffs. And Plains is 0-1. You know, they just need to step it up a little bit. But give me an overall rundown of that 4-2-8.
Hey, man, tough district. I'm going to keep saying that throughout the broadcast, man. You know, all these kids, we want to give a shout out to all these kids. Keep working hard and doing what your coaches ask you to do. And, you know, man, that Seagraves group, man, they've been playing some good football all season, man. Corey Cowell is a tremendous athlete. You know, to be able to play quarterback and running back. That says a lot about that kid. And I just want to send a shout out to him and say, man, keep working hard. You're a classy young man, and I wish you the best in the future.
And Richard LaGoria, keep doing what you're doing. They're going to need you playoff time.
Yeah.
It's a team game. You know, Corey Kyle scoring a lot. Terran Riggins is scoring a lot. But Richard Longoria might be that third, you know, card in the deck to get you guys to a state title.
Yeah.
And let's go over District 1-4A. You know, as you know, my brother's son here plays on the team, so he has vested interest in Estacado. How about Estacado doing 3 things in one game? Got some players ejected, gave up the highest total of points this year in defense, and scored the most points on offense. And it got them all a win over Levelland, 65-53 in Lobo Town. Big time win for the Matadors. As they say, you don't care how you win the game as long as you get that W.
Exactly.
You know, I take an ugly win over a glorified loss any day of the week.
That's right.
That was a big win, and Jalen Tennyson continues to show his muscle and his moxie.
Yeah.
He really gave it to Levelland.
Yeah.
But how about Nick Gerber? Nick Gerber played well. As Vic said, he looked like Fred Targeton out there. He played great. Trent Jones played great.
Yes,
You know, there was a lot of off-the-field action, but we don't need to address that. Let's talk about on the field. You know, 53 points to Levelland is not bad, but you can't give up 65.
Yeah.
What do you think about that game? You were there.
Hey, man, good football game, man. Good competitive. Both teams competed at the top. And, you know, and it was good to see, man. You know, Estacado gave up the most points they've given up all year and scored the most points they've given, as you touched on earlier, man. But it was a good competitive game, man. You know, quite a few kids got, you know, a little out of hand and got ejected from the game. But at the end of the day, I'm going to give a shout out to both head coaches and both programs for playing a competitive football game, man. And so, you know, you wish them luck moving forward, Levelland and Estacado also.
How about Pampa? How about Pampa beating Seminole 47-20? Pampa had a week off. Obviously, they got ready. You know, the week off helped out.
Yes, they did.
To beat Seminole 47-20, it showed me that Pampa is not the team from last year that was 1-9 and went to the playoffs and lost. You know, lost very atrociously to Cooper in the first round.
Yeah.
That's not this team this year. Ty Hooper, I call him Ty Hoop Dreams Hooper at quarterback. He is going to test Estacado in the biggest game in 1-4-8 next week when Estacado and Pampa go prime time at 7 p.m. That'll be on Fox News 34, you know, Channel 2 on Southern League, and also we'll be covering that game 7 p.m. Thursday night. If Estacado can win that game, they already clinch a share of the district title.
Wow.
That quick.
Yeah.
And can outright win it. You
Yeah.
know, they're the only team that can outright win it with an undefeated record in that district now, unless Pampa beats them.
Yeah.
So that game is automatically right there in the top 5 right now. So what do you think about that? Let's talk about that game next week. Pampa and Estacado.
Hey, man, it's going to be a good game. You know, Pampa's starting to come around and play some real good football. You know, as you touched on last year, they struggled a little bit, but, man, they're starting to come on and play good ball. Estacado's a real good football team, and I'm not just saying that because of my invested interest into that team, but I believe Estacado's one of the stronger teams in that district, and I believe if they just play their game and consistently do what they need to do to move forward, they will be the district champs.
That's true. That and really, it's nothing else to be said. If they play the way they play, as we said before on our district preview, Estacado plays the way we think they can play and win district, and They're 2-0, 6-2, 4 straight wins.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Exactly.
Let's go to the big boy district, District 268. You had Friendship pull off, not an upset to us, but pull off a big win in Amarillo, beating Tascosa 35-34.
Yes.
An interception late with 2 minutes to go to seal the win and get in the victory formation, the best formation of all.
Yes.
How about those Tigers? Sander Cox with 3 more touchdowns. A-Watt ran hard. Defense played great. Finley crushing people again. But Tascosa played good too. Biggers had a great game.
Yes, he
He
did.
just, came up 1 point short.
Yeah.
And to me, now it's Friendship or Amarillo for a district title, and I would give the nod to Friendship. You may get the nod to Amarillo, as we stated before, but it's come down to those 2 teams. Let's talk about the big robbery in the 806. Coronado and Monterey.
Yeah.
Coronado jumps out on Monterey early. Up
Yeah.
35-17, had a pick 6. Sherlin scored. Monterey did an onside kick in the first half. Coronado recovered it and took it to the house for a touchdown.
Wow.
But in the second half, Monterey comes out and outscores Coronado 22-0 to win the game. 39-35.
Wow.
Vincent Johnson, 23 carries, 230 yards, and 2 more scores.
Yeah.
Baylor Mitchell stepped up in this game. Frankenhauser had a touchdown reception for the Plainsmen. What do you think about this game? A hurtful way to lose the game.
Yes, it was, man. And you got to give a shout out to Coach Sespar and Coach Hutchinson for getting those teams up and ready to play in that rivalry game. Big, like you say, big game in the 806, man. And I'll give a shout out to those kids for fighting hard like they did on both sides. And, Monterey came out in the second half and was just determined to take over and do what they needed to do. Whatever Coach Hutchinson told them in the locker room, they bought it.
Yeah, they did.
They bought it.
Yeah,
and so you give a shout out to the Plainsmen for a good district win. And Coronado, keep fighting and moving forward, and it'll get better for you.
Yes, it will. And when we come back on 806 HSSCT, we'll be going over our last few district previews. And coming up, don't forget the Elite 8 of Week 8. Jason Pearson, Victor Hatchett. We'll be right back.
Hey, high school sports fans, welcome back to 806 High School Sports Connection. I'm Victor Hatchett with my co-host Jason Pearson, and we're going to continue to give you the rundowns of the districts in Week 8. And the district we're going to cover right now is District 3-3A.
How about Post, man? Post response. They lost to Coleman, but they responded with a 32-0 shutout of Ballinger at home. The Post Antelopes are not dead yet, folks. They're doing great. Lance Dunn, I want to thank you for sending in photos of your team and photos of the band. That's one thing we want to say. The band is a sports too, so we try our best to cover bands. I take pictures and videos of bands. So
Yes.
just great job by the Post Antelopes responding from that loss, looking like they're ready to turn it around. Big game next week for Post. Let's go to District 1-2A Division 1, which housed probably the biggest game in 2A, Canadian versus Wellington, which Canadian won 34-12.
Yeah.
Canadian is the real deal. As we know, ranked number 3 in the 2A poll, state of Texas. Wellington did good to hang in there for a while. Just got away from them late, but they played great.
Yeah, they did.
How about Stratford responding to their loss, winning 48-14? So they lose to Wellington, but they said, hey, wait a minute. That wasn't supposed to happen like that. They come out and beat Panhandle 48-14. And then you had the Boys Ranch beat West Texas to net 33-31. So in this district, Canadians 2-0. Everybody else is 1-1 except for West Texas. They're 0-2. But I kind of feel like it's Canadian and Stratford, as we said before.
Yeah.
Stratford took a loss to Wellington, but Stratford still can beat Canadian head up. and they still can win that district.
Exactly.
And they're still going to the playoffs, obviously. They're
Yeah.
ranked number 11 in 2A in the state. What do you think about this district?
Man, tough district. You know, we during the previews we said, man, Canadian and Wellington, man, two of the top teams, real competitive teams, and no disrespect to the other teams in the
At all.
district, but those two teams right there seem to be buying what their coaches is selling. Once again, as I say, and you wish the best for both teams and the rest of the district moving forward, because it's gonna be 4 teams to go to the playoff.
Oh, yeah.
In that district.
Oh, yeah.
So let them fight and continue to move forward and do what they need to do to be successful this season.
That's right. How about District 2, 3A? Brownfield still asserting themselves.
Wow.
They beat Tornillo, go out there, take that 7-hour trip, and beat Tornillo 45-0. Simon Jaquez, the running back for Brownfield, had 11 carries for 67 yards.
Wow.
You're like, but he scored 5 touchdowns.
Yes.
Whoa, 5 touchdowns on the ground. Brownfield is the real deal.
Yes.
Which takes us to Shallowater. Cooper Ogle, 265 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. They beat up Slayton.
Wow.
55-0.
Oh, good.
They've outscored their last 2 opponents 99-0. 99-0.
Wow.
The Mustangs are starting to trot out there, folks.
Yes, they are.
And they have a big game next week against Denver City, which we'll be covering. And Denver City responds with their loss to Brownfield. They beat Kermit 61-20. Daniel Garcia, 17 carries, 218 yards, 4 touchdowns,
Wow.
and had a punt return touchdown.
Wow.
Woo! What do you think about this district right here?
Hey, man, I'm gonna keep saying that, man. I get excited because all these districts and all these kids in this area, man, are very competitive. And it's just good to see some good football on the South Plains, man. And get some recognition for it, finally, man.
Yes.
Because a lot of these teams have been going unrecognized over the years, but now, thank God we've got an avenue to give these kids some recognition, and we just hope they continue to work hard and move forward.
Oh, yeah. And then, like I say, 2-3A is shaping out to Brownfield undefeated, Shallowater undefeated, Denver City's 1-1. They can prove a lot of doubters wrong with a big
Yes,
win in
they can.
Shallowater next Friday night.
Yes.
That's what I love about high school football. It all comes down to what's on the field.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a game. Which brings us to our last district to preview, District 3 2A Division 2. How about Crosbyton beating Rawls 60-15?
Wow.
Any other week, that would have been the front story, which Nathan Childs had 24 carries for 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 receptions for 63 yards and a touchdown, and a forced and recovered fumble.
Wow.
But how about his uncle passing away on Wednesday in a fire down there?
Oh, man.
Much prayers out to the Childress. And Coach Rogers comes up to me in the second quarter and says, don't forget that there's 3 Childress boys on the team. And I apologize, I didn't know it was 3 Childress boys on the team. And which is funny how Tim, Childress makes his debut on varsity next to little brother, and Bobby Childress, wide receiver for Crosbyton. All 3 of them scored touchdowns.
Wow.
That I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
They, as you said, football is a sanctuary. And they got out there and just play for their team, play for their uncle. There were signs out there that I get a touchdown for Uncle Jesse. It was just Rawls played well. I kind of feel like they may have lost it before it started. I felt like it was just too much going for Crosbyton, and that happening, a sad event.
Yeah.
The whole community, I'm just proud of the whole community, how they supported, Nathan Childress and Bobby and Tim, all
Yeah.
3. And another thing I learned that Elliot Rios, the running back, he's the cousin of 2 of the Childress brothers. So that was just a whole family affair. And, it hurt the whole family, but they came out and played for their uncle and played well.
Yeah.
36 points in the second quarter.
Yeah.
That was 42-6 at halftime. Give me something on it.
Hey, man, first of all, me and Jason are 806 High School Sports Connection, man. We just like to send our condolences to the Childress family, man. I know it's a tough time, but we're praying for y'all. And, Crosbyton, man, they've been playing some good football this year. It's just one of those years you feel for them that they're playing on pure emotion, man. And I believe they're going to go deep, man, and possibly make a run at that state championship with the emotion and the way they're playing ball this year.
Yes.
It's really, really, really good to see, man, that they're having some success at the high school football level in Crosbyton, Texas. Now,
Yeah.
man.
And how about Childress coming up Tim Chills coming up from JV, getting 114 yards and a touchdown. Bobby Childers, wide receiver touchdown, and an interception. Now you see they have more weapons.
Yeah.
That's what I like about Seagraves and Crosbyton. Now they're starting to introduce more weapons and more things. As you know, when you get to East Texas, they're going to take away your number one option. You have to have a second and third if you want to go deep.
Yeah.
Can't just run with one person. Can't just pass with one person. Team game, the offensive line is obviously doing a great job for Crosby because it really, to me, seems like it don't matter who you plug in the backfield. The line going to open up holes for him.
You're right.
Ian Mendez was striking out there for Crosbyton on defense.
Yeah.
That defense has been more impressive than the offense to me.
Man.
You know, just to shut out Quanah last week, give up 15 to Rawls. And how about Quanah responding, beat Clarendon, responding back, and Lockney responding off their loss and beat Memphis. So now everybody in that district is 1-1 except for Crosbyton, who is 2-0 now.
Yeah.
So, as we did an overview of the 806, and don't forget, how about the Booker Kills? Beating Groover 49-14. Groover hadn't lost a regular season game in 22 games.
Wow.
Booker beats them 49-14. Booker has scored their last two opponents 119-14.
Wow.
Hunter Lyle, Jared Reagan, dynamic duo for Booker, and that's who Crosbyton will see, or Seagraves.
Yeah.
It looks like Booker has got better from last year. All these teams have.
Yeah, they have.
3 more weeks in the playoffs start.
Oh, wow.
So when we come back, Jason Pearson, Victor Hatchett, we'll go over our Elite 8 Players of the Week. We'll be right back.
Hey high school sports fans, welcome back to 806 High School Sports Connection TV. I'm Victor Hatchett, my co-host Jason Pearson, and we're about to give you the rundown of the Elite 8 kids in the districts this week in Week 8. Hey Jason, the first kid we want to give some shout out to is Vincent Johnson of Monterey High School, man. He had 22 carries, 230 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the win over Coronado. Great game, young man. Continue to work hard.
That's a frequent visitor, Corey Kyle from Seagraves, 15 carries, 165 yards, and 5 touchdowns. All doing it while playing quarterback.
Wow.
How about that?
Hey, Denver City kid, Daniel Garcia, 17 carries, 218 yards, and 5 six-packs. What a game from that kid.
Well, let's bring us to our Player of the Week. Bo Brown from the Spearman Lynx, 22 rushes, 294 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Great job, Bo Brown from Spearman. Keep it up.
Demetrius Jackson from the New Deal Lions. 9 carries, 165 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Great game, young man. Keep working hard.
How about DJ Dunn from Hell Center? 20 of 31, 351 yards, and 4 touchdowns against that stingy Abernathy Antelope defense. Nothing to shake your head about. Great job.
I'll have Simon Jackson of Brownfield. 11 carries, 67 yards, but the big thing with that, he had 5 touchdowns.
5.
Wow, good job, young man. Keep working hard.
Brownfield look like they're getting it together, huh?
Yes, they are.
All right, let's do Nathan Childers. You know, an emotional game for him. He played great. 14 carries, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 receptions, 63 yards, and a touchdown, and a forced and recovered fumble.
Man, great game. Keep working hard, young man. And go ahead with that last guy.
Oh, yeah, let's not forget Wyatt Garden of Canyon Randall. 324 yards and 3 TDs in their win over Caprock. He has 1,725 yards through 7 games.
Wow.
I want to thank Tim Dennis also for shooting me that stat. What a stat, by the way.
And the last thing, it's something we haven't done before, but we're going to give a shout out to a whole offense. How about the Estacado Matador offense and the win over Levelland? and got 65 total points. And Jalen Tennyson had a great game. Offensive line had a great game. Receivers had a great game. Just an all-around great game for those kids, man. Keep working hard and moving forward, Matadors. And that's will be the end of our show. And next week we'll come back with the Week 8 previews of the districts. And y'all have a good night. I'm Victor Hatchett, Jason Pearson, 806 High School Sports Connection.